All right. So this week, today actually, we are going to talk about some different ChatGPT or just or any sort of prompt engineering to that I use every day to kind of enhance what I do and make myself a little faster. And I wanted to kind of spread my experience out amongst the AI tools and amongst the team, so we can all utilize these tricks and tips that I've learned over time to kind of help us get better. So, first thing and while we're going through this, keep in mind for any scenarios that you'd like to see me work through at the end, and we can go through them before we end today. So, the first one that I want to do is I want to talk about creating a quick email from a situation that's going down. Maybe it's a harsh situation with the client or something like that. So to make sure that I'm not sharing any particular information about a particular client, we're going to create an email that should never go out to a client, such as one that you would want to write, but maybe shouldn't be sent out, just gets the information on there. So we're going to put in a chat, and this is just for an example for us to use. I'm going to put it write a message to a client that should never be sent. All right. Oh, come on. I just did this before. It's hitting me, getting one of those new prompt blocks that are coming out there. So let's just say write an example.
Yeah, an example would be good.
Of an email that should never be sent client. All right. I had one before. Okay. Well, anyways, let's just say that, let's just make it on up real quick. This, we'll go back and create a new fresh prompt. This isn't what I'm trying to teach you. I'm just trying to get some example language to use.
How did you create a new prompt? What did you do?
You just go up to the new chat, up here. Yeah, you just click that.
Sorry, Nick. If you just put in, give me an example of a bad message to a client, I just said it and it'll compute it for you.
Okay, cool.
Give me an example.
I knew it. I knew it was a certain. Give me an example of a bad message to a client. Like that one?
Yeah.
There we go. They put in all these new restrictions, so you can't, like, I tried to say first, like, write a rude email, and I was like,
wait a minute.
We can't write rude emails.
No, this just states that. This just states it didn't work.
No, it worked for me.
That's a really funny email.
Yeah, this is like a bad email to you. So the current state of your project, current attention that your team is consistently falling short of expectations. Like, this is something I would never really want to send to my client, right? It might be what's happening, but it's not something I would want to send to the client. So what I do is I would take this and I can copy it like this. And then I have a quick way to do this, so I'm just going to do it for time. But this is the prompt that I always use. Rephrase the following message to be more professional and polite. And then I copy it. I paste it down here below. And now it changes it to a much more suitable Want to discuss the current status of the project and share some observations for consideration. Not, I highly doubt given the current state of your project, like getting crazy with it over here.
That's a really funny.
Yeah, so I like to use that one. It actually saves me a lot of time, because even though it might not be like bad like this, it might be a good thing. I just might not know how to exactly want to phrase it. I can say it how I would like to, or how I would normally say it, and then it can convert it to a more professional and polite response. So that's one of them that I really like. And again, don't mind me with this. I'll teach you guys about this program later, but it's just something that I use to be quicker about my prompts here. Okay, so this next one is sorting into tables. I don't know if you know that ChatGPT can sort into tables, but you can use. Let me grab some test data for this. You can use like a prompt like this, sort into a table, and then provide header names and even in some parameters around it. And then so you can, let's say, take this mass amount of data that I just copied into it, right? Just like this. I can actually just have it sorted. So it moved all this glob of information into a nice format, and then I can then copy and paste that into a spreadsheet easily.
That's great.
So that's another way that you can do that. Let's go to another chat here. Any situations that anyone out there has come across that they'd like to when using ChatGPT? Maybe a prompt that you use that we could showcase.
Like I was using it the other day when I was gonna making a flyer on write a paragraph to IT companies about using a security operations center.
Graph to security
to
IT companies. These about Gipson Cyber,
Gipson Cyber security.
Cyber security services. And then okay, we'll write that real quick. Now, this is another one that I like to use, and I even use this outside of when I'm like doing prompts for maybe posts or something like that. This is great, right? Cutting edge solutions or whatever. But let's say you want to be a little more flashy, or maybe you want to have it catch more within sort of a search algorithm. And I use my SEO tab here. So rewrite the following, or I'm going to change it to rewrite the paragraph. I don't have to copy paste it. And rewrite the paragraph to have as much search engine optimization about the pertaining topic as possible. So it just changes it to have like flashier wording, a little bit easier to read, and that's another thing as well. That's one thing that I could show you too. So this is good when you want to have it stand out. You get some search engine optimization, has really flashy wording, really salesy wording, to kind of bring that out into there. But then let's say that you want to explain a topic, like let's say you want to explain a topic like this to someone that's very, very non-technical. This might sound mean, but the average vocabulary and reading level for the United States is a 10th grade, U.S. 10th grade reading level.
Really?
That's true. Yeah. So we basically have to kind of sometimes cater towards that if we're wanting to talk about technical information to non-technical people. So we can literally tell ChatGPT that convert the vocab in the paragraph to a U.S. 10th grade. Make sure to. That's one thing with too is make sure to always get good spelling, because just like when you're trying to talk to someone over email, you want to have good proper punctuation and grammar, and that's the same thing with ChatGPT. If you misspell stuff, it won't understand you. So convert the vocab in the paragraph to a U.S. 10th grade reading level. So now it's just going to take some of the tougher words and transform it into a little bit easier to read for someone of less technical nature. I even have it help me explain things to my kids too. Now at a 3rd grade level. So yeah, we use smart tools to help bad things from happening to your digital thing.
That's really
It's
great.
simpler.
It's funny.
Stuff, computers.
So you can my point is with this is you can really tailor it towards your audience by just putting in simple sentences and continuing through the prompt. So another trick to the trade of ChatGPT is that it's not going to be able to do everything you want it to do in one single go, right? You have to. It's kind of like trying to teach someone to do calculus and then just handing them a book and saying go do calculus. You got to take it in steps. So write an IT to companies and then say rewrite it to this, and then say convert it to vocab, in succession such as this, so that it's not all in one big paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
One big paragraph will confuse it. It won't be able to compute all of the requests that you're making in that single paragraph, and it's going to miss things, much like a human would if you put a whole bunch of list of commands to do in a single paragraph and not list them out. So you can do things like lists if you like to if you need to have it all in one prompt. We could do what was it gonna do?
You say I've used it to shorten, shorten the paragraph, and then it will condense it even more.
I like to use the word concise.
That's good too.
And actually spell it correctly. Certain vocab words have a better effect with ChatGPT because they help it to understand more. So you could say shorten the paragraph. Well, that could mean a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Could mean less wording, could be less letters, less punctuation, just literally cut the paragraph in half and not change it at all, although this and that. But if you say be more concise, that means you're being more tactful with your wording. So it's a better word to describe what you're trying to do. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And I always think of, I've said this a bunch of times before, but I always think of any sort of generative AI like an alien that's never been to Earth, and you need to explain how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to it. Like I mean, this alien has never seen peanut butter, doesn't know what jelly is, or bread, or anything, or a knife, or how to use any of those anything to put it together. How do you explain making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to that individual?
Mhm.
That's how you should be explaining things to ChatGPT. So does that kind of make sense? Like
Mhm. Mhm.
the more
Absolutely.
detail you can, the more detail you can give it, the better.
Mhm.
But like I said, don't give it all that detail all at once. Prompt engineering is knowing what information to provide the prompt at certain times to get the value information that you want. So if you have a bunch of information or a bunch of list of tasks that you want it to do, break it up into 2, 3, 4 different sections so that it will that chain together, so you can say, okay, I need to write an email to all of our clients about our new ticketing system. Okay, that's great. Well, first let's start by writing an email to the clients about our new ticketing system, and then okay, now provide better better wording and whatever to that to make it to this way. Oh, now add a list of the steps that they need to do to do this sort of thing, so it adds it all together instead of just compressing it.
Eric, I sent you a PM.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Chris. So yeah, so the biggest takeaway is one, short, short to the point messaging, instructions, and break the instructions up into multiple prompts, multiple asks, like a conversation. Cool.
Yesterday, or maybe it was Tuesday, I was in a BNI meeting, and this lady was, in her introduction, she had a poem she read, and it was the Jack and Jill went up the hill and they fell down, and she's an insurance agent, so it was kind of cute. So I went on to ChatGPT and I said, write a poem about cybersecurity. And it was pretty funny, and then I said, shorten it. And then it made it even shorter. And it was just cute, but it could do anything. This thing can do anything. It's crazy, just crazy.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg, because I don't pay for the pro version. Within the pro version, this is Chat 3.5. Chat 4.0 and above is like 10 times better. I wouldn't say 10 times, maybe 5 times better. Because the amount of information and knowledge that it has is like going from a high school level to a college graduate level.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a huge difference. Plus, you get to add in, with ChatGPT specifically, you get to add in things like file reviews and imaging sort of add-ins, so you can have it describe images to you and things like that, which are pretty cool. And then there's also I use other chatbots for different things. I use Microsoft Bing's image AI,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool because it's generative from text to image. So I will, if I'm making like a PowerPoint presentation or something like that, and I don't want to, and I haven't found a nice free image, I will make it there so I don't have to worry about copyright infringement. So I've done that a number of times. And then there's other things that are specifically like Bing is nice to, or the Bing AI is nice, but it is ChatGPT 4.0, so you get a better version. And what all you do is you go into Edge, Microsoft Edge, and it's right there at the top. You can go and use it. It just stops you at 2,000. It just stops at 2,000 characters. Like, it won't produce any more than that, or allow you to input any more than that. But it does have access directly to the internet, which is nice. Unlike ChatGPT 3.5, where it only stops to January 2022. Bing has up to the minute, searching of the web that it can be done, and it can provide images and stuff. So, it's 6 one way, half of the dozen the other, really, of what you want to use, different features or different things. There's even a number of other chat bots and chat generative AI solutions out there. I don't know. I just like ChatGPT. It's a simpler platform, and it allows me to do like really long responses and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll do more than like a 2,000 word response if you need it. All right. Well, that's barring any other questions or anything, I think this is a good one to show everyone a little bit more tips and tricks with ChatGPT and just using it in general. I know that we all use it every day, so just if I can help anyone be more efficient during the day, that's a win for me. So,
Well, super. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. I will talk to y'all later.
All right. Sounds good.
Great.
All right.